Hey everybody, this is Dave coming to you from the Gaming Cave, and today we're going to do a playthrough of RAF, the Battle of Britain, 1940 by Decision Games. So I've already set up the game here, and I thought I'd just do a quick walkthrough of what we've got for people that aren't familiar with it. I know this is an older game and a lot of people have it, and I can actually remember my dad having one of the original versions of this and him playing the whole Battle of Britain in his basement one time. So when I got a chance to pick this up a few years ago, I did it. So I thought we'd do a playthrough on the short scenario, the hardest days, which are 4 raid days. And depending on how the game plays, it should take about a week of time on the calendar. So what we have here, and I'm going to use the shorter stand so that I can get some close-ups of the board. As you can see, it is a fairly large footprint, and I use plexiglass here to keep the mat flat, as it is a folded paper type mat. Up here we have the calendar, and so August 11th of course is on the end. And then we have replacement points. So when you're playing the full campaign, then those move up and down as you use them. And as you build them, do things get victory points. We also have here our raid detection track. This is going to tell us how well we're going to know what's coming at us. We have our German raid priority tables. So right now, low are cities and industry, medium is airfield, and high are ports and radar. So that's their German priority. Of course, we have a weather table and light loss and heavy loss, or heavy loss and light loss boxes for our aircraft. The raid display box, the tote board here that shows where our planes are at as far as getting recovered and getting ready to be rearmed and go up again. Victory point summary, squadron turnaround. So this is a little explanation. The map symbols here. And then I've already placed on the Spitfire counters. Of course, they tell you it's a Spitfire. They have their firepower, and then see if I can get this in here. Oops, you can see this is one of Squadron 112. So that's where they're assigned to this sector, this area right here is 112. So this is their base where they operate from. There's a Spitfire and there's a Hurricane Squadron there. So as you move around, 411, 511, 611, 711, there's quite a few different sectors, and that's where your squadrons are based out of. And then a squadron can help one sector over from wherever they're assigned to. So that way, if I have a raid coming in this way, and I think it's going to attack in this area, 411, I can have squadrons from 212 and 112 patrolling over there. Also from the London group, they can come help. So depending on my intelligence and where I think everything is going, that's what we're going to have. I'm not going to do the night patrols in this scenario. That's an optional rule that we're not going to do. We also have over here the sequence of play. That's the RAF 2-player sequence. So if you're doing a 2-player game, but we're doing RAF Lion, which is the solitaire game. And the thing that I'm going to use is, I got off of Board Game Geek. Stuka Joe actually does these for several games, and he did these and I printed them off, but he does sequence of play cards. And so I have the whole deck, and it's the whole sequence of play, and they're really handy, especially for this game, because you got to follow the sequence to the T on this one. So you use these, and they're numbered. So you have card number 1, it's repair, and it even tells you what you have to do here. So it's exactly right out of the rule book. So if you follow these cards, you're going to get it right every time. So that's what we'll be going by on our sequence of play. The nice thing is, You play this, you lay it down, you lay it down flat, you pull card number 2, you do it, you lay it on top, and at the end of the turn, you flip it over, and then the cards are right there in sequence again, ready to go. If you don't use a card, you just skip over it. So I think it's really neat, and that's where we're going to be at, and that's how we're going to use it for our sequence of play. So I didn't put replacements on the board. I don't think I'm going to need them. I have them all. I have everything set off to the side. As you can see, I have all the decks here. I have the event cards, the target cards, the day cards, the force cards, and the strategy cards if we need them. These are the clouds, which we'll put on the board, and then altitude advantages if there are any. And again, these are all the replacement aircraft that if I was playing the longer campaigns, I would have them up here onto this tracker right here. It says when these replacements actually come in. Okay. All right. So let's kind of get ready here and we'll get ready to get started. All right. So the first thing we do on our sequence of play is repair. And skip on the first day of the scenario, so we skip that today. Okay, second step is time of day. Draw the top card of the raid event deck referring only to the time advance. So we're going to pull the top card of the raid event deck, and time advance is 0. Okay, so we set that to the side. And up here, our clock is at 0600. So unfortunately, they're coming first thing in the morning. Weather forecast. Roll 1 die and consult the weather table to determine today's weather in Luftflotte 2 and Luftflotte 3 areas. Okay. So we're going to roll 1 die. It is 3. And a 3 in Luftflotte 2 is partly cloudy. So we put our partly cloudy. And in Luftflotte 3, it is clear. So it stays clear in Luftflotte 3. Okay. All right. Next up, night patrol assignment, which we're not doing. Then we have advance warning. Skip this step if 2 or more radar nets are damaged, they're not, or the time advance result on the event card drawn in step 2 reads no AW, which means no advance warning, which it did not. So we pull the top card from the target deck and place it face down next to the deck without looking at it so that you can see the backs of both the cards you pulled and the new card on top. Okay, so what that is, I pulled this. It's Luftflotte 3 and Luftflotte 3. So we're going to have Luftflotte 3, which is the rarer of the bunch, coming at us today. All right, squadron patrol assignment. Place squadrons and sectors on patrol. So we know that these guys are coming into Luftflotte 3. We don't know exactly where. But Luftflotte 3 covers this sector here, all the way out, all the way down here. So any of these targets here in Luftflotte 3. So we want to be up and flying. So part of Luftflotte 3 can be these ports and the radar stations. So we're going to put up a Hurricane here. And we got Spitfires here. So I'm going to put up one Spitfire there. I have a Hurricane here, and I'm going to put one Hurricane up in 310, just in case. And that leaves me a Hurricane on the ground, two Spitfires on the ground, and I got these guys here if they come this way. So the thing there is, we'll see how this works out. Everybody plays this game differently, I'm sure. Okay. Our next is raid target determination. Reveal the target card pulled during the advanced warning step. So that's this first card. And it says Southampton Industry, strategic value is 2. So most likely we're not going to get a raid here to Southampton because it's an industry target, but we'll see what happens here. Okay, we'll hang on to that card. The next thing we do is British detection. We roll a die and refer to the detection track. Wait a minute. I got to make sure I did this right. Because see, you got to read all of it. Raid target determination. If no, roll a die on the German raid effort table to determine minor or major raid. Okay, so this is where we're at. Industry is a low priority. His strategic value is 2, so we use this column right here. So it has to be a 6. So we're going to roll. And if it's not a 6, there's no raid. It's a 4, no raid. If no raid results, draw another target card until we get a raid. Okay, so this is the danger here. We go to Luftflotte 3, and it's the same daggone industry card. This time the strategic value is 3. So I have a better chance now of this being the target. So we roll again. And as you can see, this time with the strategic value of 3, it's a 4, 5, or 6. A 4. A 4 is a minor raid. Okay, we have a raid. Thank goodness. It's coming to us in the area that I was scrambled my fighters for on patrol. All right. Now we go. British detection. We roll a die and refer to the detection track. So now we're going to be up here onto the detection track. Right here. Okay. So we're going to roll a die. And we modify it. We roll one die and add the total modifier. Major raid plus 3. Follow raid plus 1. Major raid when Luftwaffe at depletion level plus 1. None of those. Add the target card's observer corps value for the current weather and each undamaged radar net listed on the target card. Okay, so here's our target card. Radar nets 2 and 3. So I get plus 4, and the observer corps is 3, 2, 2. So this is clear, patchy, and broken. So 2 there. So I have 2, 4, plus 6 to my die roll. All right, so we're going to roll. We get plus 6, and I rolled a 3. Plus 6 is 9. A 9 gives us sufficient and poor. Okay, so that's going to be our intelligence levels. Sufficient and poor. Poor intelligence. Squadron commitment. If intelligence level is poor, you may commit squadrons in sectors listed in target card's yellow box according to the raid's warning level. Move eligible squadrons to the hunt box. Okay, so we have sufficient, which is down here. So if they're patrolling and en route, yes. And if they're available, en route, available, yes. In range, patrol, no. In range, available, no. Okay, so on this card, we have the en route, which is squadrons 111. So 111 is who can intercept here. And it says if they are patrolling or available. So my fighters here, the ones that are in range can't get there. I have him. And see, the thing is, I don't know what size they are, but I'm going to bring up my 3 squadrons here for this. It's a minor raid, actually. I think I'll use my 2 Hurricane squadrons and leave my Spitfires down right now. So I'm going to scramble both of my squadrons, and they come to the hunt box. So I have my 2 British squadrons in the hunt box. Okay. For intelligence, raid size determination. Draw a force card to determine the number of grouping in the raid. So over here we have force cards. This is a minor raid, so it is 2. So there's going to be 2 aircraft in this raid. We don't have to do the limited intelligence raid deployment. Draw another force card. Select grouping from air bases and deploy them in the raid display. Okay, so we draw another force card, and we're using the first 2 aircraft. It's an ME-109 and a Heinkel 111. Okay, so up here, the aircrafts, they're listed with A's, B's, and C's on them. So I have more B's than anything on the 109, so I'm going to send a B there, and in the Heinkels, I have the same number, so we'll take an A. So that's our aircraft. So the bomber box, they go there, and the hunt box, the 109s, go into here. So let's see if I can get my camera down here a little bit. You have to excuse the shadow just a little bit, but with the camera this close, that's what I'm getting. Okay, so that's the raid deployment. Accurate intelligence, we don't have to worry about. Hunter interception. Okay. If no grouping in the hunt box, all full squadrons move to the bomber or in-flight box. Okay. If grouping is less than squadrons in the hunt box, only 1 full-strength excess squadrons may move to the bomber box. So I can send one of my groups here. So 601 squadron is going to go into the bomber box. So they're going to go ahead and go after the bombers. Okay. Next, raid approach event. Draw an event card and carry out the approach event. Right. So here comes the approach event. Is cloud scatter raid. If the region has patchy or broken clouds, reduce all A grouping. Oh, so we have patchy clouds. So he gets reduced. Okay, so they're scattered there. So that worked in our favor. Hunter attack. Add combat ratings of all squadrons and grouping in the hunt box. Count the number of grouping only and locate the column in the combat results table. All right, so here we go. So we have a combat results table. Let's see how I want to get this for you. This is going to be a little, probably have to hold the camera up here. See how well I can do this. This will be a little trickier. Okay. So we have, let me get my 109 over here so we can see it. Okay. So we have our 109 and we have a hurricane. So we have number of grouping in combat is 1. No depletion. So he's up here. And then we have 3. Number of grouping. I have to remember how to do this. Sorry. Okay, so let's set this down. The Germans, on their counter, the first number is their bombing rating. The second number is their combat rating. Of course, with the British, we only have the combat rating, which is the 3. So we add the 3 and the 0. That makes 3. And there's one grouping here. So we come down. It puts us on value D. Okay. So we're going to roll 1 die. Let's slide this up some. We're going to roll 1 die, and we're going to cross-reference D, and it's going to tell us the result for the Germans and the British. Okay, so here comes our die roll. It's a 4. So we come to column D, and we look at 4, and what it tells us is this is ABC on the German first. Okay. See if I can get this camera angle right here for you. Column D, roll is 4, A, no effect, B, light damage, C is abort. He is a B unit, so he took a light loss. So he goes into the light loss box, and my British is an A unit. On this die roll of 4, he took a light loss. Okay, so both units are going to take light losses on this one. Okay, German light loss goes into this box. The British light loss comes over here to their sector. And this is out of sector 111. So in 111, light loss, we put his counter there. And that's going to take that much time to get him repaired and where he can fly again. Okay, that brings us now to the bomber box. So the first thing we do is raid target event. So now we draw an event card and carry out the target event. Okay, so now we do target event. Target event. A channel A. Channel patrollers close escort. If the raid target is coastal, move all grouping from the channel patrol box to the close escort. We didn't have any of that, so no effect. Okay, now we move to squadron interception. If squadrons are greater than or equal to the grouping in the bomber box, all grouping in bomber box and close escort are intercepted. Okay, that's what we have. So we do the same thing that we did before. We do our squadron attack. Add the combat ratings of all squadrons and intercepted grouping, count the number of grouping, and locate the column. Okay, so it's the same thing we just did with the bombers. We have 3 from the British, 7 from the Heinkels, so that's a 10. And there's one grouping. I'll move this up here. And we have one grouping. And 10 puts us on row H. Okay, so we're going to roll the die. And it's a 5. On row H, right here, row H and a 5, and he is the A group, heavy loss. So I got them in the heavy loss. And I'm a C, I am disrupted. Okay. So we move the Germans into the heavy loss box right there. And then I go into disrupted. Okay, so what we do here is on the combat results table, let me angle this up and see if we can see how I want to show this. On the back side of this table is what happens when you have combat damage charts. And I should have done this. So in the hunt box, there was a full group and they got light loss. They went to their light loss box and I gained 1 victory point. But I had a full squadron that also took a light loss. I went to my light loss chart like I did it, and I lost a victory point. So our victory points at this point stayed at 0. Then in the bomber box, the full group took a heavy loss. So I gained 2 victory points. My full squadron took disrupt. They go to the in-flight box reduced. Okay. So I take this squadron and I put them here on in-flight reduced. All right. And I gain 2 victory points right there. Okay. There is no bombardment because I eliminated the German squadron. German recovery. Move grouping from in-flight box as follows. Bombers to air bases, reduce side up. They're not in the in-flight box. Full fighters to 3 o'clock, 3 spaces ahead. Reduced fighters to the clock 4 spaces ahead and flip to full strength. If insufficient clock time, fighters to air bases, reduce side up. Okay, so these are the guys from the in-flight box. Clock update. Advance the clock marker 0, 1, or 2 spaces along the clock per time advance on raid target event card drawn in step 17, which was the last card that I drew. And that card shows advance time 1. So we come up here, oops, and we move this up to 0800. So if there were any grouping in that space, they would come back into their squadrons. Squadron turnaround. Adjust squadron status based on the number of spaces, 1 or 2, that the clock marker advanced in step 2. Okay. So squadron turnaround summary right here. After 1 time advance, if you're in your rearm section, you would go back to your sector. If you're in the land, you go to rearm. If you're in patrol, you go to rearm. If you're full in flight, you go to rearm. If you're reduced in flight, he goes to land, flip to full. So 111, he now lands. And that's where he stays. Okay. So the guy that was a light loss, he doesn't get to come back yet. Okay, so he's 601 squadron is back in their box. All right. Trust me, this goes faster when you're just playing by yourself a little bit. Advance warning. Skip this step if, 2 or more, draw a target card and place it face down next to the deck. So in my last time, it did not say no AW, no advance warning. Okay. So I get to draw another card. We place it here. This says Luftflotte 2 South and Luftflotte 2 South. So my indicators are that the Germans are going to come to Luftflotte 2 South. Squadron patrol assignment. Place squadrons on patrol. Okay. So this is a repeat of what we did earlier. Any other squadrons that were on patrol, they would have landed. I should have done that. All these squadrons that were on patrol would have landed, and then they went to rearm. So 410, he's in the rearm. 310, he's in rearm. And 110, they're in rearm. So after the next clock advance, they'll get back. Yes, because he was reduced, he goes to land. Okay, got it right. Okay, so I had to place, so I have Luftflotte 2 South. So South, this is Luftflotte 2, and this is the south sector, is from Dover into this main area. So there's a good chance that we're going to get some activity here. So I'm going to put my Spitfire up. Let's see, I'm going to put a the Hurricane up, a Spitfire up. And over here, I'm going to bring a Spitfire and put him on patrol from 410. And I could put 311 up. He can help patrol this south sector. So can 511. But I think I'll put 311 up and see what he does. It's early, but I don't want to get caught early. And maybe I can have another decent battle if I get lucky here. Okay. Next, we do squadron and group and reset. Move all in-flight squadrons to their assigned sectors on the map, full side up. Move all patrolling, rearming, and landing squadrons to their assigned sectors on the map, returning. Move all group and in-flight box in any space. Flip all reduced grouping and air bases to their full side. So none of that's going on there. Resolve night raids, which we're not doing. Day advance, which we're not to yet. So all of these, when you get to this part, this is the end of the day. So we don't do these. Okay. So in fact, squadron patrol assignment, go to step 7, raid target. So it's time to go back to step 7. So we just take our deck. We come back here to step 6. We leave that down. We take this, flip it over, and now we're ready for step 7. Raid target determination. So we reveal the target card. Here we go again. So this is the target card. Radar net. So here we go. Rye. So this is Rye right here. So strategic value is 2. It's in Luftflotte 2 South. They do get 109s for their fighter escort. We get 3 radar nets, and we do get, depending on what happens here. Okay, with our weather, it has the patchy cloud, partly cloudy. Okay, we're going to roll a die. We're going to determine the German effort. So this is high, and it is a strategic value of 2. So the Germans are rolling. Well, gee whiz. Dave, come on. Okay, here we go. they get a 4. And a 4 is a major raid. Okay, so we got a major raid coming. And now we do British detection. We roll the die and refer to the detection track, and we do the modifications for it. Okay, so let's roll our die. And we get a 4. And our modifiers are major raid, +3. Follow up, major raid, no. Target's observer core was a 1, so I'm +4. And +2 for each radar net listed. There was 3 of them, that's 6. So that's +10. So that gives me a 14. So it gives me sufficient and accurate. Okay. So this is poor, so we skip it. Sorry, I'm just looking ahead. I got to make sure I'm following this right. Redeployment. Okay, because we get, hang on just a second. Okay, so we draw raid size determination, draw a force card. Here we go. Determines the size. It's a major raid, and our intelligence is accurate. So raid size is going to be 6. Okay, so we know what the raid size is. It's 6. We have accurate intelligence. We skip the limited intelligence step, and we draw another force card, and we find out what's coming. So it's the top 6. So they start with an ME-109. So we come here and we'll take a C because they have the most of those. We'll put him in the hunt box. And he has a Heinkel 111. So we'll take an A on the Heinkels, put him in the bomber box. Okay. Then we have an ME-109. So we have an A and a C, so we need a B this time. So we take a B and another 109. So we have an A, B, so now we'll take an A. It's 3 109s right there. Another Heinkel 111. So we'll bring a B. And then he gets a 109 on channel patrol. So that's a C. And he's out here in the channel patrol box. Okay. So that's the force that I'm going up against. Now we go, our accurate intelligence means, and we were at sufficient. En route, yes. Available, yes. Okay, so anybody en route and available. Okay, on this target card, en route is 7-11. So everybody in 7-11, which includes, I'm glad I put him up there. I got 3 Hurricane squadrons that can intercept. Okay, so I got 3 Hurricanes that can intercept the 3 109s. Not the best odds, but it is what it is. En route patrol, yes. So sufficient just didn't give me enough. If I could have got early warning, I would have been able to get planes that were in range also, which would have been these other guys most likely. Yeah, it would have been from 211 and 611. So good thing I put. You know what? I'm looking. Hang on just a second. I think I'm not sure I can bring him in from London. Let me check. So no, the answer was no. It would say London on the en route or in range. It would say London on there. So I can't use the guy from London. So he stays back. So I have 2 Hurricanes, and they got to fight through 3 109 squadrons. Not the best odds there, I can tell you that. But this is what we do as the British. So we now do hunter interception. If grouping is greater than or equal to squadrons, all squadrons are intercepted and stay in the hunt box. Okay, so I can't take anybody out to go after the bombers yet. Raid approach event. So we pull our event card, and it says rendezvous failure. If raid has 7 or more grouping, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no. Too bad. All right, so no effect there. Shucks. Hunter attack, here we go. All right, so we add up. I've got 6, and he has 3 grouping. So here we go with this again. So he has 3 grouping on 6. That's a C. All right, so here's the roll. And it's a 5. So on chart C, a 5, a B plane, oops, I gotta move my chart over here. The B squadron takes a light loss. Okay, so he's gonna go light loss. And for me, on a 5, my A squadron is disrupted and my C squadron is aborted. Okay, so we'll see what that means. Okay, so the light loss for the full group, he goes to the light loss and I gain a victory point. So we'll do that. So I'm doing this the right way this time. Okay, I have an aborted, so a full squadron. What did I say? Disrupted. Yeah, he was disrupted. He can go to the bomber box reduced or to the in-flight full. British player chooses. So if he goes here reduced, he can still attack. And we'll hope he gets in there. My C squadron was aborted. They go to in-flight reduced. So they're done. And these 2 guys, they now moved in here for the escort. So let me see if I want to do this or not. That would be 4 grouping. And I would have 14. That's not a very good odds right there. The odds are something's going to happen to him, because if he's already reduced, he could go to light loss. I think we're going to save him and not go after them. I'm going to let these guys come in here. I'm not going to be able to get to them. I know that we're only doing 4 raids, but I gotta save these guys, I think. So we're gonna see what happens here. That's the end of the hunter attack. Now we do our raid event target card. Raid event is target event. ME 110 strafe. Move all ME, so we don't have any ME 110s. Okay. So they now go squadron interception. I don't have any. If no bombers in the bomber box, go to step number 21. No, we have that. Add the current combat ratings of all squadrons and intercepted grouping. Count the number of grouping and locate column. Locate the row. Okay, so we're going to the bombing table. Our total bombing strength is 5, 10, 11, 12. So they're on this column right here. No dive bombing. We have patchy clouds. We move one to the left. Okay. When strafing radar, seeker, MU1, 109s contribute no strength. So let's do that again. So we're at 10 and they go one to the left. Okay. And now we roll. And it is a 4. And a 4, right here on this column, is 2. 2 damage points. So we subtract 2 victory points. Okay. So I lost 2 victory points right there. 2. That sucked. All right. That was the bombardment. German recovery. Move grouping from the in-flight box as follows. Bombers to air bases, reduce side up. So the 2 Heinkels, they come back to their base, reduce side up. Full fighters to the clock, 3 spaces ahead. So these 3 109s, they go to the clock. Oops, sorry. Got my finger in the way. 3 spaces ahead, 1, 2, 3. So they'll be available again come 1400. Clock update. So the clock update is time advance 0 follow-up raid. Okay. So I have to check here because this is a follow-up raid. The result reads, follow-up raid, return to step 8. British detection and conduct another raid using target card for the raid just completed. So I don't get to change that. So I go back here to step 8. Put them back on the deck. And there's a second raid coming in. All right, I got to change my battery. Okay, so we come in with British detection. We roll the die and we do our detection check again. So again, we have, it's a major raid, so it's a +3. And +1 for observer corps, it's +4, +6 for the 3 radar nets, so that's +10. So we're going to roll our die. We get a 1 and 10 is 11. This is going to be sufficient and limited. Okay. So it's not poor. So we check our raid size. The raid size is, we have limited intelligence. It's another raid of 6. So it'll be 6 aircraft again. And we have limited intelligence. So we can put in route on sufficient, yes and yes. Unfortunately, I don't have anybody that can get up here now. So I didn't get enough. I didn't get the early warning where I could bring any of my aircraft over. So I don't have anybody coming. So now we do raid deployment. Draw another force card. And this is who's coming. Another 109. So we'll bring an A in the hunt box. A JU-88. He's a C. We'll bring him. Another 109. Bring a B. A Heinkel 111. Let's see. We have A, B, C. So we'll bring a C. Well, I've already got a C bomber. We'll bring a B bomber this time. I don't think it really is going to matter. Another 109 goes to channel patrol. And another 109 comes in on close escort. That's it. So that's the raid size. Okay. Accurate intelligence, we skip. Hunter interception. If no squadrons, all grouping in hunt box to the in-flight box. So these guys go to the in-flight box. Okay. Raid approach event. Channel patrollers hunt. If the raid target is coastal, and the target is coastal, move all grouping from the channel patrol box to the hunt box. To the hunt box, which puts them into the in-flight box. Okay. Hunter attack, there isn't any. Raid target event. Okay, so here comes the target event. Interception over the coast. If the raid warning is none or late, move all grouping from channel patrol to close escort. Okay, that doesn't do anything. And now we do squadron interception. There isn't any. Squadron attack. There isn't any. Bombardment. So here comes the bombers. They're at 10 again. We're back on the bomber box. We're going to roll our die in a minute. We have no bombers intercepted. Shift 2 columns to the right. Patchy clouds, back 1 to the left. Okay. And they get a 4. And a 4 is 2 hits. And 2 hits means subtract 2 victory points. So I goes 1. And now this flips to the German side. So I'm at a -1 on my victory points right here. All right. It's the end of the bombing table. German recovery. The bombers go back. So the Ju-88's flipped over. The Heinkel goes back, flipped over. Okay. This 109 goes into there. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And they go up 3. So they came up here 1, 2, 3 spaces ahead. So all these 109s will be out of service for a little while. Okay. Clock update. So advance is 1 and no advance warning. So we go to 10 o'clock. In the clock space for the current time, they don't go back. Squadron turnaround. Okay. So it advanced 1 time. So if they're in the rearm box, they go back to their squadron spaces. So here I have 110. He goes back to his squadron. 310 goes back to his squadron. And 410 goes back to his squadron. Any squadrons in the landing box move up to the rearm box. Patrolling squadrons go to the rearm box. So 410 goes to rearm. 211 goes to rearm. 311 goes to rearm. 611 goes to rearm. Okay, so you can see on my squadron map now, the squadrons are starting to get depleted a little bit. Okay, in my in-flight box, a full squadron goes to the rearm box. So 711, he goes to rearm. And I have a reduced squadron in flight. He goes full side to the landing box. So 711, he's going to land. So you can see how this churns a little bit as we go forward. And now we're going to draw a target card, but I had no advance warning, so I don't get to do that. Okay, I have to do my patrol assignment again. I have no advance warning. So all I know is the next card is based on Luftflotte 2 South again. So I got to set up patrols. So for sure, I'm bringing 410s coming over this way to help with these Spitfires. I'm going to put them in this sector here. I need to bring 611 and 611 up. 511's coming to help. I've got 211. The Hurricanes can be up on patrol. And I think I'm going to leave him on the ground right there because the day's not over yet. Okay, so sorry, I should have been showing what I was doing there. So I put on patrol out of sector 410. Get where you can see. Out of 410, I put 2 Spitfire squadrons up in the 111 sector, and I still have a squadron down there. 211 put up a Hurricane squadron. I brought into 711, who didn't have anybody available, the squadron from Spitfire squadron from 611. And then 611 also put up their Spitfire and a Hurricane squadron, and then he stayed on the ground. So that's what I've got on patrol. And the next thing we're going to do is move back to step number 7. Okay, raid target determination. So we're going to see what the next target's going to be, and it is Tangmere Airfield. It's a coastal airfield. It's in sector 111. All right. It's a strategic value of 3 on a medium base right here. So there's definitely going to be a raid. We know that's for sure. So we're going to roll here. Let's see what we roll. We get a 5. And on a major 5, it's a major raid. Oops, sorry. It's Tangmere's an airfield. Strategic value is 3. It's a major raid. So we know they're coming. Okay, so the next thing we do, British detection. So we're going to roll our die, and then we're going to add the modifier. So our die roll is a 2. Not very good. A 2. They get a major raid plus 3. Okay, observer core with patchy clouds is plus 2. So I'm plus 5. I got plus 6 in my radar nets, so I'm plus 11. On 2 is 13. It's early, but poor. Okay. Poor intelligence. You may commit squadrons in sector listed. Okay. So I have early, so I can do en route, patrol, available, and in range. So here we go. On 111. So I can put up the guys that are on patrol. So we're going to bring them here to the hunt box. I'll show it to you here in just a second. Also, up here, let's see, get this where I can show it a little better. Took the patrol. He's also coming up. got to defend my airfield. And the guys that are in range are 211 and 410. So he wasn't up at 211. That's on patrol, so I can bring the Hurricane Squadron also. So I have 4. So that gives me 4 fighter squadrons up now. All right. Raid size. Draw a force card. Determine the number of grouping. This is a major raid. It's going to be 7. Okay. 7 aircraft. Don't have to worry about limited intelligence. Raid deployment. So we draw this, and here we come. 7 aircraft. He starts with an ME-109. So we'll take him the C. Then he has a Dornier 217, or 17, I'm sorry. We'll take an A there in the bomber box. Another ME-109. What do we take there? C. So we'll go get us a B. Another Dornier. So I took an A. So I'll take a B this time. A 109 on channel patrol. This should be an A this time on channel patrol. A 109 on close escort. Take a C in close escort. And another Dornier. So we got an A, a B, and a C. All right. Accurate intelligence, we don't have to do. Hunter interception. If grouping is less than squadrons in the hunt box, only full strength excess squadrons may move to bomber box. So my Hurricane's moving to the bomber box, and one of my Spitfires is moving to the bomber box. So that leaves me with these guys right here. All right. Raid approach event card. German altitude advantage, if any of the following apply. No warning. Nope, I had warning. Reduce squadron in the hunt box. Nope. Prior to August 20th, yes. So they get the German altitude advantage. Okay, and what the altitude advantage means is that we move 1 row up on the box. So we get ready for the combat results. And in this case, we have 8 and 2 grouping. So again, we'll see if we can get this in a position that you can somewhat see it. 2 grouping, 8. That's E, so it moves up to column D because they have the altitude advantage. All right, so row D, here's the die roll. It's a 4. On row D, a 4. A is nothing. This is the German now. B is a light loss, so it gets me back to 0. And A is abort. And abort means that he goes to the in-flight box, I do believe. Let's check it. See, full grouping, abort to in-flight reduced. Okay. So he goes to in-flight reduced. Over here, in-flight reduced. And now on D, on a 4, my A's would be a light loss, nothing. My B's are an abort, so he goes to in-flight reduced. And the C, no damage, so he moves to the bomber box. All right. He took another light loss. That's good. It's another 109, not in my way there. That was the hunter attack. Raid target event is next. This will be secondary target, A and B's, group and bomb secondary target. So he does have two of these guys. They're going to go to the secondary target, which is Portsmouth, which is the port. And the C unit is still going to bomb there. Okay, now we go to squadron interception. If squadrons are greater than or equal to the group, all grouping in the bomber box and close escort are intercepted. Okay, so here we go. Combat results. The squadron attack. All right. They did have the German altitude advantage still applies, so I got to go up one row on this. So I have 4 grouping, and then the totals are going to be 4, 8, 11, 10, 21, 5 is 26. 4 grouping, 26, and goes up 1. So we're going to be on row F. Okay, so we'll be on row F. We're going to roll our die. 3. So 3 on row F. All right, the A groups are disrupted. So he gets a disrupted. I believe that makes him, goes that way, but let me check on the bomber groups. In the bomber box, full group disrupted, stay in the bomber box reduced. Okay. F on a roll of 3. No effect on the B groups. C groups take a light loss, so he goes to the light loss box. And I gain a victory point. Okay, for me, A's, no effect. My B is a light loss. Oh, he's a B. He's going to go to light loss. That's 111. The victory goes back down to 0. And C's are abort. In the bomber box, abort to in-flight reduced. And my A's had nothing, so they just go back to in-flight. Okay. Bombardment. Okay, so we got to do this twice because we've, oh no, I got rid of the main targets. They're not going to hit my airfield, so they're coming after the Portsmouth, after the port. Okay, so they're going to bomb, and they have total bombing strength is 6. No dive bombing, patchy clouds, 1 to the left. So we'll roll. Oh, it's a 6. 1 to the left. That's 2 victory points. So we move the victory points again. It was at 0, so I bring it down to -2. Right here. Okay. All right. Now we go German recovery. Move grouping from the in-flight box as follows. So these guys go to the in-flight box. The German advantage comes off of there. Full fighters, 3 spaces ahead. So I have 2 of them. They're going to go 3 spaces ahead. 1, 2, 3 to 1600. And I have a reduced fighter. He goes 4 spaces ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4 puts him at 1800. Okay. And then bomber go to their air bases. So this is the Dorniers, they're there. Okay. Clock update. Oh my goodness. Time advance 0. So if the marker did not advance, return to step 7 and generate a new raid target. So this is definitely turning into a super long day for the British. We go to turn 7. We reveal a new target card. Luftflotte 2 South. This is going to be Rochester Industry. Okay. It's a strategic value of 1. It's a low priority. So I can tell you based on that, there's not going to be any raid. So that target does not happen. So they go to Luftflotte 2 East. Hornchurch Airfield. Strategic value is 3. That's going to be their target. There's definitely going to be a raid. Now the question is, how big of a raid is it going to be? All right, so we roll the die, and it's a major raid, of course, with a 6. So they're going to have a major raid on Hornchurch. All right, British detection. So we got to roll for our detection to see how well I can battle for this. So we're going to roll the die, and we get a 2. All right. On British detection, +3. The observer core, in this case, is 3. That's +6. And +4 more, +10. On 2 is 12. We get sufficient and limited. It's not going to be what I wanted, but it's what I get. So they're coming after Hornchurch, which is right here on the map. All right, don't do poor intelligence. So we do raid size. So we're going to find out here. This is a major raid. It's 8. So they're going to have 8 aircraft coming to Hornchurch. I have limited intelligence now on sufficient. So I can do anybody en route. En route is 611. So in 611, I have a Hurricane and a Spitfire that were already on patrol, so they go in the hunt box. Okay. And now I have, that's all I have. Raid deployment. So let's see what's coming this time. It's a ME-109. We'll take an A. Another 109. That's a B. Another 109. That's a C. So this is not looking good for my fighters already. A Ju-88, I have 1. There's an A. A Dornier, so we'll take a B. A 109 on channel patrol. A 109 on close escort. And another 109. So that's all of his 109. So he's doing all these raids too, and he's running out of aircraft also. Okay, so I have not very good luck here. Don't need that card. So we go to Hunter Interception. If grouping is greater than, all squadrons are intercepted and stay in the hunt box. So here we go. We get raid approach event. Come on, give me something to help. Rendezvous failure. If raid has 7 or more grouping, all A grouping in the bomber and close escort box leave the raid. All right, so the JU-88, he leaves the raid. He goes back depleted. Okay, that helps. At least that's one less bomber going to hit me. For victory points, that's what's important. All right, here we go. Hunter attack. I have 7, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 grouping. All right. I need some luck here. 4 grouping, 7 is a B. This is not going to go well. I can tell you that already. All right, here comes the attack. It's a 4. 4 grouping on 7. A units are aborted. We had one of those. B's nothing. C's are disrupted. Okay, so aborted and disrupted. Full group, abort, in-flight reduced. That's the A group. And the disrupted go to the in-flight. So they go there. All right. Now for the British, a 4. A's are light loss. I have 2 C's. That's all I have there. They're both light loss. So 511 and 611 took light losses. 511 and 611 take light loss. And that is -2 on my victory points. Boom, boom. Okay. All right. Well, that wasn't too cool, but I caused him a little pain. I guess we'll use it that way. Raid target event. He would go to the... All right, raid target event. Non-essential target. Reduced bomb damage result by damage does not affect by 1. Damage does not affect industry, airfield, or radar targets. Victory points count. Okay. So here we go. He's bombing. It's 1. He's got 4. So he's bombing right here on a 4. And he rolled a 1. No effect. All right. So, no victory points are going to get lost on this one. That's great. Squadron did not intercept. Squadron did not attack. That was my bombardment roll. German recovery. Bombers to their air bases. So he goes back. This is the Dornier. He goes there. Reduced. All right. These guys all come in. They're full fighters. They move up 3 spaces. 3 spaces. We're going to move him 3. 1, 2, 3. And this guy is reduced. So he goes 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Clock update. Time advance is 2. So the clock moves to 1400. Thank goodness. I'm going to get this day over. Man, they're pounding me here. German fighter turnaround. Move all fighter grouping in the clock space for the current time and earlier times to their air bases full side up. So all of these guys are coming back to their fighter base. So he gets 109s back now. So we have some A's, C, B, A, C, A, C. Okay. So that's what they have available there. You got his fighter turnaround. Okay, our squadron turnaround, our rearm box. So here we go. Our fighter's here in the rearm box. He goes back to 410, 111, thank goodness, 211, 311, 611, and 711. Landing box goes to the rearm box. That's that one squadron there. All right, patrolling squadrons. So I have 611. He goes into the rearm. That's the only one that was left out on patrol. In-flight box, full squadron, goes to the rearm box, so 211. And my 2 reduced go to landing boxes full size. 410 and 410. Okay. There we go. Advance warning. I do get advance warning here. So it's Luftflotte 2 South and Luftflotte 2 East. Okay. We got a patrol assignments. So Luftflotte 2 East is over here. And Luftflotte 2 South. So 410 is going to come up and patrol here. See what I can do here. I got to put some guys on patrol. Need my hurricane up there. Man, this is getting touch and go here. I'll put my Spitfire up. I'm going to leave him down. I can always bring 511 up next time. If they come to the east, I'll have a chance up here. Okay. That's what I'm going with there. Getting kind of thin here. All right. And now we go back to step 7. Step 7. Raid determination. So we check this target card. Farnborough is a city. Inland strategic value is 1. So I can tell you that they are not going to hit that target. So now we go Luftflotte 2 East. It's an industry. Strategic value is 2. So with a strategic value of 2 on an industry, he has to roll a 6 to have a target, to have a raid. He got a 5, no raid. So we go to the next target, which is back to Luftflotte 2 South. Biggin Hill, 711. All right, so here we go. Strategic value is 3. So he's going to roll. And it is a 2, which is a minor raid. All right, might get a chance on this one. Okay, so it's going to be a minor raid. British detection. We'll roll our die. It is 4. Okay, a 4. Target observer corps is 3. And I get +4 for radar nets, so that's 3, 5, 7 that I'm adding to my die of 4, which is an 11, which is the same place I'm at, sufficient and limited. So we don't have poor intelligence. So we go raid size determination. And the raid size is, minor raid is 2. So 2 aircraft are coming. And I'm on limited intelligence. On sufficient, anybody en route, patrol and available. En route is 711, so I have 1 Hurricane squadron that's up. So they'll go to the hunt box. Okay. Raid deployment. So let's see what's coming. An ME-110. Oops, ME-110s. And they have an Elite 110 and a JU-88. He doesn't have any, and I got to check. I believe that's going to be the DO-17s. Let me check. Okay, so the 110 is a close escort, and I don't have a JU-88, so he gets a DO-17. So we'll bring up C for that one in the bomber box. Okay, so my 1 Hurricane is there. Accurate intelligence. So hunter interception. If no grouping in the hunt box, all full squadrons move to the bomber or in-flight box. Of course, we go to the bomber box. Now we get raid approach event. Cloud scatter raid. If the region has patchy or does, reduce all B grouping. Nope, nobody got reduced. Too bad. Right. And we skip. We don't have a hunter attack because we're not in the hunt box. Raid target event. Low-level bombers. Shift down 1 row for squadron attack. Shift 2 columns right for bombing. Do not apply shifts for clouds. Okay. Squadron interception. We intercept, here we go. There's going to be 2 grouping. I have 3, 4, and 5 is 9. That puts us on, line this up a little farther. 2 grouping. 9, so it's on column E. Now the target event said shift down 1 row for the squadron attack. So E goes to F. Then he gets to move it 2 to the right for the bombers. Okay. So squadron attack, here we go. Oops, sorry, bumped my. So we're going to roll. So we had 2 and 9, so we're going to be on column F. The roll is 6. Column F. A is abort. B is abort. C is light loss. Okay. So abort in the bomber box. He goes in flight reduced. So that's the 110. He goes to light loss, and I gain a victory point. Over here, gives me back up to a -3. And then on column G, right? For F, I mean, column F, a 6, and I have an A unit. He's abort, so he goes to the in-flight reduced. All right. There will be no bombardment today. We go to German recovery. So he goes 4 spaces ahead, which puts him actually 1, 2. So he's at the end of day. So he goes back to his group. Air base is the light on his reduced side. We do a clock update. The clock update is time advance is 2. Goes 1, 2. So we're at the end of the day. One more. It's going to be one more raid possibility. Oh, brother. And we've all fighter grouping in the clock space, current and earlier times. Okay. Back, and they go back full. So we have a 109C and an A. He's getting all his fighters back. A, B, C, C, B, C, oops, C, and A. Okay. So there they are. Everybody's back on their base. All right, squadron turnaround. So we have in the rearm box, so 211 is back at his airfield. 611 at his airfield. And 711 at his airfield. Okay. Landing box moves up. There are 2 planes there that moved up. Patrolling squadrons. So they go to the rearm box. So 611, he's in the rearm. Who else is patrolling? Right here. 211, 410. Okay. And in-flight reduced goes to the landing box. This is 711. He lands. All right. Advance warning. I get advance warning. So we have Luftflotte 3 and Luftflotte 2 East. Very interesting. Very interesting. Squadron patrols. This is the last of the day. We're putting everybody up. I'm putting these 2 guys up. I know he's coming up because if they do attack, the question is 310 needs to be on patrol here. And 111, he can patrol over here too. I'm sending him over. They could come in here. I'm sending 311 down there and 211 down there. And in the east, 611's up, 711's up, 511 is coming down here, bringing all these guys over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can have no more than 14 squadrons up at the end of the day like that. All right, we go back to step 7. So here we go again. And we do raid target determination. So Luftflotte 3, it's an industry with a strategic value of 2. So it needs a die roll of 6 to hit, to be a target. Hey, got it. All right. And that's a minor. So 6 is a minor raid. So they decided to attack it. All right. Cool. Yeovil Industry is in 110. So he's out here. It's this industry right here. Okay. So we have an industry target. British detection. So we're going to roll for our British detection. It is a 1. He gets observer core, gives him a 2, and 2 radar nets is 4, so that's 6, plus 1 is a 7. So it's late and poor. That's not good, but it's what we have. Okay, poor and late. I only get to use whoever's patrolling. So patrolling is this hurricane squadron right here. So they're on patrol. Now we do raid size at Yeovil. It's a minor raid. It's only 1 aircraft. That's good. It's going to be a 1-on-1. No limited intelligence. So now we bring our deployment. Who's it going to be? It's a Heinkel 111. All right. I get a chance at a bomber. So in our 111s, there's more C's than anything. So we'll bring the C in the bomber box. Okay. No accurate intelligence. Hunter interception. There's nobody in the hunt box. So they're going to move to the bomber box. Raid approach event. Undetected hunter. Add an ME-109 group to the hunt box. Shoot. That means I got to come back down here. And there's going to be a 109 coming. Let's see, that's a C, so we'll take an A. Dang it. Okay, that's not good. I thought I was going to have an easy day. Okay, here comes the hunter attack. It is 1 grouping and 3. That's box D. Here's our die roll. A 2. Box D in a 2. A's against the German. He aborts, so he goes into the in-flight box. And I have a C. I'm disrupted. I can still come after the bomber disrupted, and we're doing that. I go reduced after the bomber. All right. Raid target event. Interception over coast. Is this coast target? No, it's not. If raid warning is none or late, move all grouping from channel patrol. We don't have any, so nothing there. Okay. Here we go. Squadron interception. So I'm intercepting with my Hurricanes. Squadron attack. So it's 1 grouping, and we have an 8. It's table G. Right here. Our die roll is 3. Table G. He's a C. Heavy damage on the German. I'm a C. Light loss on my Hurricane. So a light loss, I got to check this. Light loss on a reduced squadron is still light loss, but a heavy loss for him. So I gain 2, lose 1, so I gain a victory point. So I'm back up to -2 now. The Heinkel goes to the heavy loss box, and Hurricane 110 goes to the light loss box. Okay, this is going to be the end of the day. Bombardment, there isn't any because I nailed him. German recovery. He goes to his air base, reduced side up, so the 109's there. We do a clock update. Our advance would have been 2, so it moves it to the end of day. So we're at the end of day. We go to step, whoops, sorry, knocked my camera over. Go to step 27. No German fighter turnaround, no squadron turnarounds that we have to do. no advance warning, no patrol assignment. So here we go. Move all in-flight squadrons to their assigned sectors on the map. So 211, he lands. 211, 311, he's back. 111, he's over here. 310, he lands. 310, he lands. These guys from 411 all land. 511, they're down. 711. Okay, got everybody's landed. All patrolling, rearming and landing squadrons, they all go back full. So 410, 410, 410. So he gets all of his fighters back now. 211 gets another Hurricane back. 611 gets his Spitfire back. 711 has another Hurricane back. Okay, we move all grouping in the in-flight box, so I don't have any. We flip all reduced air grouping to their full sides again. He has a C and an A. These guys here, that's a B, A, and a B. And they flip over. They have an A, a B, and a B. And his 109s flip over. And his 110s flip over. Okay. No night raids. Day events. Draw a day event card to determine the number of days to advance the day marker. Day event card. 4 days elapse. So this moves up 4 days. 1, 2, 3, 4. So bad weather has affected that. If day event calls for a 1, 5, or 6 day advance, and the previous day card also called for the same number, okay. Advance the day marker, the number of days shown, gain 1 victory point per day elapsed. So I gained 4 victory points. 1, 2, flip this over, 3, 4. I'm at a positive 2 now. Okay, that's the end of that. Day event. Carry out the event list on the day event card you just drew. Day event. Set German target priorities. So I believe we draw a priority card for that. I have to check that. Okay, so this is a set German target priorities. So we go by victory points. I'm at positive 2, so we're in the second row. Radar becomes low priority. Radar becomes a low priority. Ports are medium, so they drop to medium. Airfields go to high. Airfields at high. Industry is medium, so that moved up. And cities stay low. Okay, so that's the new German target priorities. Okay. Update replacement points. Adjust the replacement point markers on the replacement tracks according to day event cards you just drew. My victory points, I get Hurricane 9 replacements, Spitfire 6. Okay. Experienced pilot reserve. Okay, so what's going to happen is for replacements, my Hurricanes gain 9, So up here on my track right here, my Hurricanes go up 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And my Spitfires go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Blenheim's one I didn't have in. German fighter replacements, they go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And his bombers go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And my experienced pilots, they were at 4. 4 pilots. So what happens is, for the Germans, we'll do them first, they have 2 bomber groups here that they move out of the light loss. That costs them 2 of their points. So their level bombers go down to 1, 2. And they have 3 fighters. So they're going to reduce this by 3. Right here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Those all return to their squadrons now. So that's 2 Bs, 3 Bs on their 109s. And these are DO-17s. They're both Cs. They get them back up. And then they're going to spend 2 more to get these guys down to their light loss box. That's 2 more of their bombers. 1, 2. So they took some hits there. Okay. I kind of jumped ahead. Light loss replacements and the heavy loss replacement, but I went ahead and did them. Okay, so light loss replacements for me, I have 1 Spitfire, 2 Spitfires, and 3 Hurricanes. So I'm going to replace all of those. So 1 Spitfire, 2 Spitfires, and 3 Hurricanes. 1, 2, 3. And that takes out my experienced pilots. 1, 2, 3, 4. I used all of them up. And one of them is going to come in green, one of my Hurricanes, my Spitfires. So he goes back to 111. Okay, the other thing I didn't do, this was supposed to be in the 7 box when I set up. I missed that. So I hit 7 and I gained 4 on this last mission. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm buying 5 back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It leaves me with 6. So I get all my fighters back. All of these guys are coming back to their squadrons now at full strength. So 110, that's good. They're all back. 111 Hurricanes, 511 Hurricanes, and 611 Hurricanes. Okay. All right. We go heavy loss replacement. I did that for the Germans. Reinforcements. We don't have reinforcements. And card shuffle deck. Any deck except the day event deck is clearly shorter than its discard. Okay, do not shuffle the day event deck unless it's completely depleted. If you're playing the Battle of Britain, we're not. It's not the 4th raid day, so we don't do that. We go back to step 1. All right, that's the end of day 1 of RAF, the Battle of Britain, 1940. You can see, takes a little time to play this. Takes me a little longer when I'm filming because I got to move things around that I don't do. But I'm a +2 on my victory point. So today, the first day, I consider to be a successful day. All right, that concludes this video session. We'll get ready for day raid number 2. And I hope if you're new that you subscribe. And if you like this, give me a thumbs up. It helps the channel. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.